This is Andrea with the Boys of Black Mountain, and I thought I would give a little bit of update about how I plan my homeschooling year. I just moved back to Montenegro, which is a country in Eastern Europe, across from the boot of Italy. So it's been a week full of assembling bookshelves and fixing air conditioning units, and most of my planning for homeschool had been done previously, so it was mostly unpacking boxes and putting them on the shelves. But I would say normally I start about 6 months ahead of time as far as the planning the curriculum goes, just because I'm usually getting this stuff from America and it takes a while. This year we decided to do Around the World with picture books, mostly using Beautiful Feet books curriculum, but also kind of incorporating a little bit of sunlight and a little bit of my father's world, and then a whole lot of Montessori and Waldorf elements as well. And the reason I did that is we knew we were going back to the States, so we wanted to do American history before that, so we did Adventures in U.S. History / Beautiful Feet books, early American history last year, which we had a total blast. You can look that up on my blog. But this year we wanted to do Around the World, which I think is just great. I'm only going to have my 7 and 9-year-old at home, so it's going to seem like a breeze after having a toddler in our midst for the last 2 years of homeschooling. So my 3 and 5-year-old will be attending local preschool in the mornings from 8 to 12, so that they can learn Serbian. My other 2 kids already speak it, so we're getting our other kids so that they obviously can develop friendships in this culture and they aren't limited by just speaking English. So we're very excited. The process that I use to kind of collect my things is what inspires me. So I'm very much inspired by Charlotte Mason Waldorf Montessori approach to education. As an amendment to that, I will say that Thomas Jefferson leadership education has a really cool, just really cool elements about it that if you want to just study a wide range of educational approaches, you might want to check them out as well. A lot of practical tips for homeschool moms, and a lot about you being the lead inspirer for your children. So I'm just going to give them a shout out as well. So like I said, I pull from a lot of different curriculums, but I usually don't buy any specific curriculum. This year I did buy Around the World with picture books, and I'm glad I did because the guide is beautiful. I ended up ripping it to shreds and putting it in a book. So this is year 2, or this is the first one and the second one. I put it all in one binder so that I could keep track. I'm doing more countries in there, and I didn't want to have to keep flipping around, so I'm putting it basically in my own order. So there's my order. It's already lots of markouts and I haven't even started yet. And there's all the tabs. So just a quick rundown of the countries I decided to do. So these are my unit kind of breakdowns. Introduction, Oceania, Australia, Iran, Afghanistan together, Israel, Egypt, Morocco, Kenya, Ghana, and Tanzania, West Africa, South Africa, UK, Ireland, France, Netherlands, Denmark, Canada, Sweden, Norway, Russia, Serbia, and the Balkans, which is where we're from, Spain, Italy, China, Japan, India, Thailand, Brazil, Peru, Mexico, and Ecuador. That list killed me. I remember when I first started trying to figure out this year, I was like, what do I do? Oh my God, I can't not do Sweden. I can't, and I still don't have Germany on there, which is breaking my heart. So who knows? We might add in Germany maybe during Christmas, because Germany seems very Christmassy. But those are the ones that made the cut. I'm not going to worry about fitting my units into a week. Even though my weeks are designed to be per unit, I'm not going to stress if it bleeds into the second week or if things get moved around. So the way that I'm doing my schedule this year is I've kind of minimized my morning basket. Last year it was like music and poetry and a lot of different elements every day, and it was kind of stressing me out to pull like every day to have, and I had enough material, but the organizing of it was really stressing me out of what poem am I going to do? I have to do the Irish poem on St. Patrick's Day and all of this stuff. So this year I kind of just simplified and said music Mondays, tea time Tuesdays, and Thursday trails, which is nature study and our nature walk. And so I don't know if that's going to stick. I hope it does stick. That it just makes everything simple. So instead of listening to a song, 2 songs every day, we're just going to have a music time for 45 minutes and listen to music the whole time. So it might be our hymn study during that time and our cultural or a lullaby from France or whatever country we're studying, and we're just going to do it all at the same time. I just feel like it will be much more relaxed that way. So that was my idea behind simplifying morning time. Another thing I changed this year is, well, actually I kept so much the same. So my schedule almost from last year was exact except our main block. So our first block is morning time. That takes about an hour. Our second block, we call it disciplinary studies. So that's going to be your math, for us, math, Serbian, and what's the other one? Reading. There you go. Reading or spelling, depending on the age group. And then the third block is the discovery studies. So that's science and history. In this case, it's going to be science and geography. If history, might be very general, but we're not really going to enter history this year. That we're going to start the 4-year history cycle next year. So for step 1, pick your theme. Step 2, pick your units. Again, based on a lot of different curriculums I saw out there. Step 3, gather books. So gathering the books is definitely what takes the longest time and probably the most research. I cannot wait to show you pictures of all of the reference books that I have for this year. So a few that come to mind, of course, is the Maps book, Material World, Children Just Like Me, things like Peoples of the World by from National Geographic. I just have all of these Animals of the North, Animals of the South, Alamantium, I might be Alamalinium, sorry if I'm saying that wrong. Just gorgeous books. A book called Planet Earth that talks about biomes, just gorgeous reference books. And I think I have 20 of them, people. 20 reference. That's a lot of reference books. But they're gorgeous. They have tons of illustrations. And picture me and the kids just sitting on the couch or on a blanket and just exploring these books. And then I will give you a picture of that. And then second is the picture books / the chapter books. So because I'm doing this with a 9-year-old that's a voracious reader, I added in chapter books, and I did that either by just Google searching or honestly whatever was cheap or free. That was also a Newbery Prize winner. So not the cheapest, but the cheapest that's a Newbery Prize winner. My husband's looking at me through the window. Here is the shelf. Let's see if you can see it there. So this is, you can kind of see, and I put these little markers on it so that I know what unit goes with what. So we're starting next Monday, so today's Sunday, with a general around the world, like what is a map, and we have all the map books. And this year I also made my learning table bigger, which is kind of insane because it was already really, really big. But I added display shelves so that I can see what books we're covering each week, like especially picture books we're covering each week, so I can see them. And so I also want to say I have got some beautiful poetry and folktale books this year. That's probably what I'm most excited about, is folktales and biomes and all of that. So I said, pick your theme, pick your units, find your books, let it be chapter books, picture books, and reference books. And then the probably fourth, but my favorite part, is making it hands-on. And of course you have Pinterest for this. We are going to notebook a little bit. We're going to do art journaling, probably for our nature study and for our mammals and biomes. But we also I want to have biome bins for the desert and the Arctic and all this. And even though my kids are a little older, I want to incorporate the younger kids into it as well, because they'll get home at noon and we'll still be doing things. And so I'll say, here's a bin. And I'll read the picture books with them as well. So, so biome bins is going to be a big one. I have wooden, Waldorf animals for each biome. Some things that I've had from past years, always have clay, always have Play-Doh, obviously always have watercolors and markers and all of those things. We're also heavily incorporating Legos this year. So even every Tuesday when we're doing our biome study, they're going to be color coding. They're making a Lego biome map with Lego figures, and I actually have a book to go with that, which was the find. I was like, this is so cute. I have to do this. With 4 boys, of course, Legos are going to be a huge part of our lives. So that was one thing. And I also went to use clay to mold the different countries and to have, I would say the different continents and have the geographical features on each continent. So the Nile and the Atlas Mountains and all of that. So, and we'll form, paint, and maybe label those throughout like that unit. So, which is one thing I didn't talk about. So on one hand, I have the country, and that's going to be happening Mondays, Thursdays, and Fridays. Wednesday is our off day, our family Sabbath. And Tuesdays is like science day. So for science, we're doing biomes and mammals. And the reason, and I didn't line it up exactly with any other curriculum because I wanted to do biomes when we're studying that country. And obviously different continents and countries have multiple biomes, obviously, but there are some that are obviously thematic. So we will be studying, for instance, the Sahara Desert when we do deserts, but of course we'll mention when we're doing Australia that of course Australia has deserts, but I wanted to make it themed like that. So here we have, and I can probably put this, here we have the country, and here we have what biome is going on during that time. So, so coral reefs, open oceans and coral reefs is at the beginning. Deserts is through our Middle East studies, the African savanna through Africa, temperate forest through Europe, ice, tundra, and taiga is the Antarctic one in the middle there. Mediterranean scrublands. Grasslands is Asia. Tropical seasonal forest is while we're studying India at the bottom half of that. And then tropical rainforest is for South America. And then obviously the mammals will match up to those biomes. So even though we're going to be doing our beautiful feet, coloring, they might choose to color an ibis or a horned owl. We're going to be focusing mostly on mammals this year. So that'll be fun. We did a bird study last year and we had a blast, but we are more moving on towards mammals this year. So I could talk about specifically what we do for math and Serbian and all those things, but I really wanted to say generally how I plan a year and all of that. And I will say I think it cost, I could be completely lying to you, but I feel like without art supplies and notebooks and things like that, just hands-on stuff, so Legos and animal figures and and books and curriculum, if you choose to do that, I think it was around $500 for me. So that's still going to be cheaper, and I get most of my stuff free or used. I get a lot of free stuff because I'm a missionary, and there's this wonderful woman named Gail who gives me free children's books. And if I can't get it from her, I get it either on Thrift Books or on Facebook or on Amazon, of course. So those are the avenues I go by, but I think if I paid full price, it would be around $1,500. But praise the Lord, it's only $500 because of my big borrow steal mentality. I also have a homeschooling mom in a city an hour north of me that gives me a lot of free materials, so that helps a lot as well. Thanks for letting me talk to you. This was really long, and if you got through the whole thing, congratulations.